Now, each and every week, many of you will know that we usually get the insurance registrations that shows the total insurance registrations that our favorite EV stocks like NEO or EV players like NEO did for the previous week. And as soon as screen for the week ending the 10th of August, NEO had total insurance registrations of around 6,089 or around 6,000 or almost 6,100. Now, from that 6,089 cars, 3,200 came from ONVO, 2,162 came from NEO main brand, and 684 came from Firefly. Now you will notice that these figures shows that comparing to those 7,930 insurance registrations we got on last week's reports, there is a slight decline, or there is a decline on all the brands, right, compared to what we saw the previous week. And this is something that, of course, you will notice that when you check most of the new energy vehicle cars, this previous week or the insurance registrations we got today came slightly lower. But for NEO, we expected more. I must say, I did a video expecting or saying that I expect around the same figures as last week, because I know that the ONVO L90 was going to obviously do the most and deliver as many vehicles as possible. I mean, apparently the ONVO L90, based on the report that came with China EV Home, they had 2,093, while the L60 had 1,150. So from that 3,243, 2,093 are the L90s, which is something that, of course, makes me to think about what really happened to the ONVO L90, because something that you will know that is that in the first 3 days of after the launch, ONVO managed to deliver almost 2,000 cars in 3 days. Now, for the whole week last week, they only delivered just over 2,000, slightly above than the 3 days we saw, or slightly above the deliveries or insurance registrations we saw from the 3 days of the prior week, right? So this is something that, of course, one has to think. But I must tell you, let me tell you, even with all this that I'm telling you, ONVO 90 is still on track to get to 10,000, because you will know that they put 10,000 as the base for this month, and they still, we are not yet even halfway through the month, so there's still a lot of time that we could see, or to see ONVO doing the most in terms of sales. But for the others, you know that Firefly, it is expected to get to 4,000 sales, and the 684 is slightly lower than the 780 we saw last week. Hopefully it also recovers and get to obviously deliver a 4,000 as a base, or for this month the total Firefly deliveries get to 4,000. NEO main brand, it's still pretty low, 2,100. It is obviously the lowest figure since the 30th of June to date. So when you look in June to 3rd of August, you will notice, or to 10th of August, you will notice that this is the lowest that NEO main brand has produced, and hopefully we also wish to see a recovery there. But all in all, the 6,000, though it's lower than what we expected, it's still okay, it's still fine, because like I said, NEO can still get what they anticipated. And something very, very good that I like about, of course, these insurance registrations is that amidst the ONVO L90, the L60 still remains with pretty good solid orders. The deliveries of the ONVO L60 continue to be so good. I mean, 1,150, it shows you that it's still getting, or it is still getting, the sort of like same demands that it was getting in the previous week, which therefore we could safely say the launch of the ONVO L90 is not affecting the deliveries of the ONVO L60, which is something very, very good, because ONVO L60 now will also have a time and opportunity to get to 10,000, because it is not being impacted by the L90 deliveries. So yeah, man, this is what we received, 6,089. It's what NEO reported. And when you go and look at the others, you will notice that Lip Model had 9,300, Xpeng had 7,900, Ato had 7,000, Xiaomi had 6,800, Neo 6,100, Leoro 5,300, Depal 3.7, Zika 3.3, FCB 3,000, Voya 2.8. You will notice there that Xiaomi this week sold more than Neo, right? Which is something that, of course, last week you saw Neo selling slightly higher than Xiaomi. I mean, I was expecting Neo to be in the top 3, but it did not happen this week. Hopefully, next week we get to see Neo getting to the next level. I can tell you something, and that is obviously in terms of deliveries, we are going to get an all-time high. I think that is quite certain. It's something that we need to expect and have at the back of our minds because of the ONVO L90 deliveries going to seriously boost the total deliveries that Neo gets to generate. ONVO is still going to get or will maintain the 6,000, and ONVO L60 will maintain the 6,000, and ONVO L90 is going to give us, I think, even 12,000 units, 12,000 units, which in total ONVO should have around 18,000. Add Neo, add Firefly. I think all-time high, it's guaranteed. We are going to get it. I think even 35,000 is very much possible, but 40,000, that is what investors we want to see. But anyways, let's wait. Let's see what transpires. But yeah, me, I'm hopeful. I believe that things should get better for Neo, especially knowing that in September there is factory number 3 that is going to be kicking in. That is going to help Neo, of course, get to the next level in terms of production. That factory, we've discussed that obviously is going to help in producing the models, the Neo ES8 and most probably the ONVO L80. But again, let's wait. Let's see what transpires. Me, I remain long. Me, I remain strong. And I believe that blue sky is indeed coming. I believe that those that are persevering throughout the headwinds of the share price will most definitely be rewarded with time. Like this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that at least you can be notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. It takes me some time to make videos like this, which is why I ask you to obviously like and share to your fellow Neo friends that want to know more about Neo. Thanks to those that have been subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate, and yeah, I'll keep them coming. Continue liking, continue sharing. Otherwise, that's all from me, and God bless you all.